Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. You are looking at the FV217 Badger. It's a tank destroyer based on the Conqueror hull, and it's the Tier 10 tank destroyer on the British line. Now this one is on the north spawn of Mines and is under the command of marke12. Let's see how he gets on. Well, some of the stats about this vehicle are pretty frightening. If you're facing the front of it, that is. Yes, if you're facing the rear or the sides, it's not so bad, actually. The reason it's frightening is because there's 355mm of armour around the gun itself, and the angled armour is valued at about 300mm of armour. The gun is a 123mm, which is capable of doing 480 output and penetrating 272mm of armour with standard rounds, and it'll go up to 320 with the premium APCR. So he doesn't fear enemies from the front, but he certainly does fear them if they get behind him at all. It's also fairly vulnerable to Arty, so if you're in a game with Arty and you're in one of these, you are going to take a bit of a pounding. But the good thing is he can do something like this. He can drive up to the middle and he fires a round from 575, is it 515, into a 907. A 907! And he gets another one for 545 because it's a very quick firing gun. Standard reload time is 8.15 seconds. You can see Marky's got it down to 7.02. Yep, that Kranvagn is taking another shellacking, you could say. He's going into fire, and he does fire through the gap. And he's going to do it again, but oh, he's got another Badger. Lower plate. That's it. The only weak spot on the front of a Badger is the lower plate, and well, Marky's putting that to good use, but he can't track that guy. Well, he could have tracked him, but it wouldn't have actually done him any good. What he wants to do is try and shoot at that lower plate, because then he will pen it. Okay, well, the Badger is a replacement for the FV217B183, the Death Star. Yeah, Wargaming thought the Death Star was a little unfair, so they thought, oh, I know, we'll bring in the Badger. It was a project from, well, it was developed during the 1940s. That's when they first putting pen to paper, and that's when the first blueprints started turning up. But they didn't actually develop the thing until the 50s, and they were going to build one, but they didn't go ahead. They cancelled it, and well, they started doing the project in May 1952 for real, but they cancelled it later on during the 50s. Now, it is an assault tank destroyer, so it's designed to be fought right at the front, like a tortoise. Although it's kind of, it's slow. It's faster than the tortoise, but it's slow compared to other tanks. Top speed 30 kilometers an hour. Oh, Jaeger! Yes, hungry for Jaegeroos. You'll just go straight through the lower plate on that thing. And that Jaegeroo's taking a hammering. Okay, can we have another shot through the Jaegeroo's lower plate? Oh, he's out the game. Oh, what a pity! He's just taken out a Jaegeroo. Yeah. You can see what I mean about this being a pretty deadly tank. It's even got its own go-kart on the back, so if the commander wants to go for a little spin, yeah, he's got his vehicle. I think it's one of those amphibious vehicles, actually. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, looks like one of those. Well, if the commander wants to have a quick run around, why not? He's certainly not going to run around very quickly in the Badger. Its reverse speed is only 12 kilometers an hour. So it's very, very slow. And the reason why he's not going into the hill is because if he did, he'd have to expose his side armour, and that's fairly weak. And he doesn't want to do that, so he would get penned. So instead, he's just keeping his front to the enemy at all times to ensure that he can put holes in them. Now, something else that's rather unusual about this tank... Oh! He managed to get the lower plate. Yeah, something else that's unusual is that this vehicle has the highest DPM in the game. 3,500, and I think that's 93, but just get me glasses so I can check it. 33. Okay, 3,533. And there's only 3 vehicles on Tanks GG that actually beat that. And all of those are vehicles that are in a special, the game, the Waffenträger game. So they've got increased DPM only for the Waffenträger game. Well, he's run out of targets to fire at the moment, really. That Object 430U didn't like getting hold, and there's a Chieftain, FV217, just around the corner, but he would have to come out sideways, which means the enemy might get a shot into him. Oh, we can do it! Just see how he mistreats this. Yeah! Pumps around into him, but he got ammo-racked with that and tracked, but he can still carry on firing, and he doesn't, he's got no qualms about putting another round into that Progetto 65. The Conqueror wants to hit him, but every time he pulls back, he's going to get really heavily smacked. Yeah, bouncing rounds off the armour, not a problem. Oh, there's a T110E4 back there. We should be able to punish him for a while.
Confirmed.
You can see he's already bounced quite a few rounds off the front of the vehicle. The arc of the gun, by the way, is 15 degrees either side of the centre line. So he's got a 30-degree arc, which is not bad, actually, for a tank destroyer. It's quite wide, actually. Okay, that 430U is taking great care to go beneath the ridgeline there that the Badger can see, so he doesn't get hit. But at the moment, we've kind of run out of targets other than that Chieftain, who just doesn't want to go away. I suppose we could go over the other side, but somebody did say to us that we should withdraw, and he said okay. So he's just holding this position at the moment to stop the enemy from coming through. Got a Jaeger who's turned up. Oh no, this is not a good idea, turning sideways. Remember, there is a T110E3 in the background somewhere. Or is it an E4? Sorry, there's an E4 in the back. So he's got the 155mm gun, capable of doing 750 alpha. And when we pop out like this, he'll probably be ready. There he is. He's actually firing HE at us because he knows he can't pen us with standard rounds. So he's decided just to spam the HE in the hope he will do some damage. And well, he did 141 hit points of damage, but that's relatively little. That Chieftain is now a dead duck. If he gets another shot into him, he's gone. And he knows it, so he keeps pulling back the moment that Marky pulls forward. And any second now, I expect the T110E4 to give it another try. Our Super Conqueror's decided to come down. Yeah, he's had another go. And only 96 hit points this time, so less than before. Still firing the HE. And the Super Conk is now moving the wreck out in front of him so he can get shots on the enemy, but it didn't work out too well for him because he got taken out by the Chieftain. And that actually gives the Chieftain an advantage now because it means that he's got a wreck he can hide behind. So Marky's going to have to move this wreck and possibly the other wreck if he wants to get at the enemy. Okay, well, they're shifting wrecks. They've got 20 meters, I should say, of armour between them. And now the Chieftain has died because he just got taken out by our STB-1 from a distance. Yeah, the STB-1's down over the lakes. Oh! Almost got the shot on the E4 as he retreated. But I think that means now that Marky is free to go after that Progetto and finish him off. Let's hope that the Progetto doesn't decide to get behind Marky, because that could be really awkward. But Marky's got backup. He's got a Noobs 1516 behind him. Hello, Mr. Progetto. You remember us? Goodbye. The Object 430U, Marky. He's behind you. He's behind you. Oh, no, he's been taken care of. The Udas took care of him for us. That means there's only one enemy left. It's the E4. You'll be glad to know this is one of 2 replays in this video. This is not going to be the end. Oh, big hit on the E4, who can only fire HEs, I think. Oh, he did fire a normal round and he actually got it through our lower plates. But he's out the game with the very next shot. And Marky wins the battle. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for marke12 in the FV217 Badger. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. A shell proof for blocking more hit points than the damage blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. Let me get that right. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and he also got a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, together with the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he is on tables. Well, he got the highest damage easily with 6,529 hit points, but, well, he did have some close competition. The Object 140 on the enemy team managed 6,119, and after that it was the 60 TP Lewandowski go, who managed to get 5,662. When it came to kills, he actually shared the top spot with the Jaeger on his team, who didn't survive the battle, funnily enough. He only got 3 kills, Marky got 3, and 2 kills went to the Death Star, the Object 907, and 3 members of the enemy team, their Chieftain, their Object 430U, and their Object 140. When it came to base XP, Marky's got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,263 to Marky, 1,138 went to the Object 907, 1,135 went to the VK7201K. He fired 19 rounds in that game, 18 direct hits on the enemy and 15 penetrations. You can see the power of that gun. It really is quite enormous. And the fire rate is really, really awful if you come up to the front of one, because you will literally get shredded. 6,529 hit points of damage, of which 929 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the damage at close range. He received 12 hits from the enemy, but only 2 of them actually penetrated, 8 non-penetrations. Of course, that E4 did actually manage to get a shell through his lower plate with armor piercing, and that's why he got that nice hit right at the end. 2 hits by way of splash damage, that also came from the E4, and 8 non-penetrations, most of which were coming from the enemy tanks the other side of the rock, who were just having a terrible time trying to get through his armor. 3,550 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, 491 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 45,724 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away a profit of 23,342 credits on a premium count. Even if he'd actually had just a free-to-play account, he still would have made a profit from that game. 1,263 XP, 3,790 from personal missions payout took away 5,685 experience points altogether. He called this one a boring ace. I think it's actually a perfect example of how deadly the Badger can be, because even when he came up against one of his own kind, he just whacked the guy by putting shells through his lower plate very, very easily. And I didn't see the enemy Badger even trying or attempting to try and do the same back to him. But I suppose that's because of where Marky placed himself, right at the edge of that crack between the rocks, which meant he had a bigger field of fire than the Badger did, which meant obviously it was much more difficult for the Badger to get a shot on target. So, a very good round in the first battle, an ace tanker. Let's see if Marky can do better in the next game. Well, the second battle in this replay on this video is in a ranked battle, and it's in the Kranvagn, the tier 10 Swedish heavy tank, and he's got a rather colourful face on the front of the vehicle. I think that's supposed to put people off. Yeah, it probably would put me off actually, but I must admit I wouldn't particularly like to see that coming towards me. Game on. Well, the Kranvagn is a very difficult tank to take out from the front, mainly because the armour on that turret is extremely strong. 300 to 225 millimeters at the front, and it's angled. 225 at the front, angled. So it is very, very effective, but the hull is fairly weak. So you've only got 90 millimeters of armour at the front, 70 at the sides, 37 at the rear. So yeah, you don't want to show your hull if you can help it, but if you can just show your turret, it's going to make the enemy think twice about how they can actually hit you. You've only got a couple of cupolas there as weak spots right up on top of the turret. Oh, and an enemy EBR 105 managed to get through. Marky spotted him, fired around in his direction, but luckily the shell from the EBR didn't pen. It actually hit the frontal plate, so it's kind of given him a wart on his face. Oh well. Okay, a full mag takes 20.7 seconds, or 20.07 seconds for marke12. It's 21.05 is the standard reload. Oh, he got hit twice by, oh, 3 times. Luckily the TVP didn't get a third shot in, or a fourth. And this time round the EBR took a big hit. Now the gun is a 120mm 440 Alpha with standard APCR heat rounds, which will do 300mm of armour. And EBR looks like he's he's still hovering around the river area. He's popped for another reload, and he's ready to go. Now he hasn't found any enemy yet around the corner, so it looks to me like the enemy has not decided to come up to the Zeppelin. So he's got his own EBR to help him, and hopefully he'll be able to find the enemy, and then we'll be able to get some damage. As it's a ranked battle, there's only 10 either side, no losses so far. He's using his gun depression, which is 12 degrees of gun depression. Put 2 rounds into the leopard, fires a third one blind, but I don't think that hit. I think it went right over the top of him. So 1,327. Well, no, that's the total, so missing out the bit from the EBR. He only got 503 hit points from those 2 shots. TVP, oh, you want to get that guy, he's the one who hit you. Oh, kill shots! Beautiful. And he's got an enemy Kranvagn and a Rhinoceronte. Oh, please take out the Kranvagn. Unfortunately, yeah, he wasn't able to because he's only got 3 shots in the clip. Oh, it's one spotted again. Oh, enemy EBR. What a crafty place to hide. Okay, he's the one who's spotting the Progetto 65 as he moves down. But hopefully he'll force the EBR out, and he does. Oh, lovely shot. Beautiful. Ow, he dies to the Progetto. He thanks him. He's actually only got 1 shot ready, so yeah, has he popped the reload? He's not showing any rounds in the breach. Has he popped the reload? It's not showing. Maybe the mods aren't showing it to me. Oh, that's the reload noise, so he's now got 3 rounds. So the mods failed us on that occasion. Didn't give us what we wanted. You can imagine seeing that face coming up over the ridgeline to look at you. Yeah, I don't think I'd be too happy. Oh, one of the enemies got really crafty and takes a round. STB1's about to die. If you get another shot in, he's died anyway. It was the Kranvagn on our team who got the other Kranvagn who got the kill. Okay, we've got the Rhinoceronte again. Say goodnight, Gracie. Oh, pop back up. Now he's gone below the ridgeline now. Okay, he's popped another reload in. Standard APCR. Remember, this game in the rank battle is to try and get into the top 10 so you can get a higher rank than before. And remember, in the last battle he did, what was it, about 6,500 hit points of damage with the Badger. So he's going to have to better that. Oh, Progetto will have that. Nice shot. Well led on the target. The shell actually took a little while to get there, but he placed the shell very, very well so it could hit the tank. Okay, we've got a Wizzy below us. Can we get shots? 12 degrees gun depression, remember. I think he decided against going after the Wizzy 111.5A. He knew that if he did pop up, he might get hit by that Kranvagn still over there. the enemy one. Oh, Leopard's decided to come around this way, be cheeky. Takes one round. And he's out the game. Tried to copy the... There's the Kranvagn. He tried to copy the EBR, and now we're in trouble because we've got no backup. And yeah, we do take a round from the Kranvagn, 456. But he's in reload. We're almost loaded, so he's now going to take an absolute hammering on his body, and he's going to be out the game very momentarily. One kill shot. Yep, you're gone. So that's 4 kills for Marke. He's the lead scorer in the game. He puts one into that progetto, and he says he needs help. Yeah, he does, because he's almost prosecuting this battle single-handed. The CS53 helps him and puts out the progetto. He's now going to go after the Wizzy 111 Model 5A. He's one of only 3 enemies remaining. He's really done well from this position. Oh, now he's got the pushes in his favour, and he can take on the enemy Kranvagn. Go for it. One. Oh, he's gone. We lost sight of where the other one was, but oh, that was it. That's the end of the game. Guns up. Well, that was an interesting battle because he was basically lead player throughout in that game. And yes, he did get in the top 10 on the winning team by experience earned. And so he's actually got a rank achieved from that battle. If we look at the team scores, we can see if he did better. Yes, he did. He actually got 6,635 hit points of damage from that battle, which makes him the lead scorer in terms of damage. If you remember in the previous battle in the Badger, he did 6,500 hit points of damage. So he's got the highest damage in this game. Second highest was, in fact, the CS63 who came to his assistance, 2,899 to him, 2,478 hit points to the other Kranvagn on his team. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 4. 2 kills went to the other Kranvagn on his team, and 2 to the Rhinoceronte on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's got the top in that one as well, so he's top in all 3 columns. 1,309 to Marke, 918 went to the other Kranvagn, and 816 to the other Kranvagn. So you can see this was a bit of a Kranvagn game for marke12. Let's have a look at the detail. 21 shots fired, 16 direct hits, 16 penetrations, damage of 6,635 hit points, of which 3,430 were at more than 300 meters. He received 7 hits from the enemy, 4 penetrations, 3 non-penetrations, and block damage of 1,270. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, 138 hit points of damage assistance. On a free-to-play account, he earned 50,741 credits, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, made a profit of 9,013 credits. He didn't use that much in the way of premium ammo. In fact, I'm not sure if he actually used any premium ammo at all. I'll have to check that afterwards and put a note in when I do the edit. And he earned 1,309 base XP, and there was no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But yes, he did get a better result than in terms of damage than he did with the Badger. And in this game, yes, he got a rank advancement in ranked battles. So very well done there for Marke. Shows he can handle 2 different tanks and get equally good results. We've got more replays from Marke coming up very shortly because, yes, he did send in a large batch all together at the same time. And they look fairly interesting as well. So do stick around and we'll show those. If you enjoyed these replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Oh, he wants back up in the movies. Oh, the precious movies.
And please do remember we've got a second channel called The General, where we feature really great battles like these ones, where you can see players getting a huge amount of damage on the enemy, lots of kills, lots of medals at the end. And it's usually very useful to know exactly how these people did it, because if you can do it yourself, then you can get similar results. Thanks for watching.